Oh, I was creating a new file. That's why resetting was a bad idea. Alright, let's go again. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, so glitchless is in inverted commas. It's a very hard thing to define in this game because this game does so many silly things that... It's kind of like if you've played Donkey Kong 64 or even like Ocarina of Time. It's very hard to have a genuinely glitchless playthrough of those games. Just because I want the file saved for later. Nothing more than that. I would have had that too. That's more like it. You'll notice the clock stopped while the time bonus is counting down. And also, there's no music. So remember what I said about it being really hard to... or rather, it being really easy to activate glitches by mistake? This is just another example of that. Nice. Ooh, I can't tell if that's going to be 127 or 128, but either of those is very good anyway. Yeah, Mad Taz, I totally believe that. Like, even when I do a run like this, there's every chance that in Launch Base 1 I just get placed straight outside one of those tubes. Nice. Very late 127. Yeah. I mean, they put out pretty good reasoning as to why some are allowed and others not. But in this, the way I try and define it is essentially to say, you know, respect the solidity of objects. If something's meant to be solid, don't go through it. But then also the really obvious stuff with the slope glitch and the wheel glitch, things like that are just really silly, and they don't read well in this kind of a run. Like, So HDL does a version that is much easier to define, where he says don't do any level wraps. So, okay, so we can't skip all of this stage, for example. But what you can do is activate the exact same glitch and then go the other way and skip half the stage. And it looks the same. It just has a lesser effect. It looks the same, you activate it exactly the same way. So I don't see why in one instance it's okay and in another it's not. So I tried to remove all of those things entirely. Oops. So even things like jumping through those platforms, even though that's really easy, I've said, you know, that's a platform that is obviously intended to be solid. So I'm not going to pass through it. Yeah, this feels like a conversation I don't want to be having. No, that's fine, that's fine. I wonder if I should lose this shield, actually. Not like that! Jeez! I'm not sure, because you definitely don't want it for the boss, or... Yeah, no, you don't want it for the boss fight. Oh, that was close. Which step? Oh man, I bet they had all kinds of arguments about this. Actually, I bet they didn't, because it was fucking 1994. Sonic 2 is much easier to define because there's less... well, there's less of this bullshit. Like, the amount of ways that you can skip things in Sonic 3 and Knuckles is just absurd. Damn it. So the risk with not getting the lightning shield there is if you get a bad angle off that spring, you're in big trouble. Again, the speed shoes ran out at just the wrong time. So what I'm going to do is this time I'm going to try and get the lightning shield that's here. There we go. I think the lightning shield will save me enough time in Act 2 to be worth getting. Oh, whoops. Oh, okay, okay. I thought I'd screwed that up really badly. Ended up being fine. This is the main reason to have the lightning shield. Just to skip that entire sequence. I don't know why I bounced away there. But that is something that happens sometimes. So here, actually, in the last section of the stage, having a shield is definitely better than having none. It doesn't really matter which one it is, whether it's the lightning or the fire. This section is probably better to have a lightning. Oops. And you also want to get here as quickly as possible, because once you get to the end there, that actually starts rising faster. This is what I was thinking of. And then also this as well. Both of those are better with a lightning shield. And then because you can hit the left side safely with a lightning shield, that's 7, isn't it? Oh, please let that be 7. Okay. Thought I may have miscounted. That would have been really silly. Oh, wow. No, that's where we stop. It's interesting that thematically there's no reason for there to be a fire shield here, but actually is quite useful. It's a bit like how there's a random water shield in Lava Reef and another one in Death Egg. Oh no, went over the top. I'm actually really glad I didn't lose the fire shield there. It's very useful to have it in Act 2. Hey Strax, thank you. Hey Starkratas. Ah, that was a mistake. This Act 2 is not off to the best of starts, although that saved that saved it. Those bumpers can keep you stuck in one place for a long while sometimes. Nice. That's what I was trying to do last time. You pull that off and you beat so much of the water, but of course you can't do it without the shield because, well, A, you can't fall fast enough without the shield, but B, if you try it, you'll die. because you'll run out of air, and I need to lose the shield. So I can do that jump. It is possible to do that jump with the water shield, but you have to place it absolutely perfectly, because what you're doing is you jump into the first box and it sends you back down, and then you use the insta shield to break the second box, which reverses your momentum again and pushes you up, which is why it looks kind of like nothing actually happened. Yeah, JLD, you can use the Steam version for runs. If that's all you have, then go for it. I don't recommend it in the ideal case, because apparently it has a load of input lag. But, well, you do what you can. Certainly being able to play this game with a bit of input lag is better than not being able to play this game at all. But yeah, just think, in the last couple of stages alone, I've gotten use out of all three shields. Now I'm going to get the lightning shield again here. You say that, Strax, but Motuni is getting some very good times on the PC version of Sonic 1. Oh, if you have a Genesis, absolutely play it on Genesis. I'm not saying that just as a fanboy, I'm saying that more often than not, the, like, a controller is best at the games it's designed for. If you try and use a PC controller, if you try and spin dash with a, oh shit. If you try and spin dash with a basic PC controller, you have a lot of trouble most of the time because of the layout of the buttons. Most PC controllers have the 4 buttons in a diamond. If you want to get... oh dear. If you want to get good spin dashes, you want to be being able to hit all 3 buttons really quickly. Man, another one on over 2 minutes. Lion, that would be called a Mega Drive. That would not be called a Genesis. My wife protests and says that it's the same thing, but I know better. Oh, that's really bad luck. Just don't do it to me here as well. Okay. At least we can actually get to the top route. Timing that jump is actually really tricky. Even though you have the 2 enemies as a guide, if you slightly screw it up... oops. Okay, good. 6, 7, 8. 1 flat, that's fine. Funny you ask, Ingo Rift. I actually do. It's so hard not to just go into one of my normal strategies. Like, you wait till I get to Sandopolis 2. I'm gonna be talking myself out of doing every trick in the book. Close. Okay. So just remember when you do this one this time, gotta get the lightning shield to... What? Oh well, I can't do it now because I don't have the fire shield. I don't know why I didn't land on the enemy. That's supposed to happen every time. Okay. Over here we go then. Ah. Still trying to work out if there's a better way to handle that section with the kind of frog enemy there. I feel like there has to be something better, but I haven't figured it out yet. That's an interesting thing to know, actually. If GV USB 2 doesn't handle it, because that's kind of the go-to recommendation for SD capture at the moment. If it doesn't handle Genesis properly, that's equal parts unfortunate and means I'll have to change my recommendation, I guess. It's a place you can jump where you bounce directly off that enemy. It's slightly faster to do it that way. I've gone the wrong way. Awesome. What you meant to do there is actually get the water shield. And that lets you skip this section that I'm about to do now. End up coming back to here a lot quicker. Yeah, I'm losing time here. But I have a pretty cool strategy for the for the second boss here. It actually looks a lot like the first one. So all you gotta do is make sure you're standing in the right spot, and Robotnik can't hit you as he goes up, but you can sure hit him. I let him get a little bit high there, so that's gonna be a little bit slow, and it was a bit riskier as well. So it meant I had to be absolutely perfect on my jumps. So 8 seconds, that seems about right. That's about how much time it saves to go around the long way and get the water shield. It's not on speedrun.com because the definition's not really agreed by everyone. Which I guess is to be expected with the complexity of the game. Oh, forgot he was there. It's interesting, I'm not used to going this way. I wonder how that compares with the other way. .112, I think that's a little slow. That looks good. Lightning shield saves enough time in the next stage for that to be worth doing. Mostly on this jump. Because otherwise you have to bounce on that, have to bounce on the mushroom a couple of times before you get enough height to get up to the red spring. I'm not sure what I was thinking there. And up. And I want to get the fire shield. So I can do that. I think I've been playing too much Knuckles lately. That's what I'm going to blame that on. Now this is one I definitely don't do very often, so I had to think about this, but I'm pretty sure that it's worth my while to get the fire shield here. That looks like about the right time. Yep, in the perfect spot. So those don't sync up at all. The orange platforms and the platform with the buzzsaw on the bottom, they're not synced in any way. They should be... Oh, they're up. That's right. Nice. Nailed it. Oh, if I had been a tiny bit earlier jumping off, I might have saved like 10 seconds there. That's okay. This time's still pretty good. Dude, Mui, I love this game so much. .204. Wow, I haven't got a time that good in a while. In fact, I'm going to pick up a ton here. Seconds, shit. Didn't think it'd be that much. Oh. I just love the way it flows. Like you can do awesome saves like that. Hey, Lucha Jim, thanks for the good luck. Okay, no one needs the shield, so I'll take the hit. There's a large ring down there, so when I'm doing large ring runs, I have to take that path instead of this one. It should be up. That's fine, I didn't really want to lose the rings anyway. It is slightly faster to do a spin dash through there. Being able to take a hit there is actually quite nice. It means you can run over the first set of spikes. I like strategies like that. In Ice Cat 1 glitchless, you can do that too. With Sonic, it's not worth it because he loses the shield, which is very important. But with Tails or Knuckles, it's worthwhile. It should be up, I would have thought. No. Okay, nice. Hey, Supersonic, thanks for the resub. I didn't actually hear that one this time. Cryptofight, yes, in as much as nobody else really runs it. I think for most people it's just a way to learn the stages and kind of ease their way into running the game. I mean, there's certainly an argument, Lucha, that does make it a bit easy, because at any given time you can have rings, plus a shield, plus that shield giving you invulnerability to certain well, to all projectiles, and then to certain hazards as well. So if I'm in Lava Reef, for example, I have a fire shield. I can't be damaged by lava or the exploding rocks or those enemies on the walls that shoot at you. So I can definitely understand the argument when people say this game's too easy. But then I guess you're comparing it to, you know, Sonic 2, where the final boss, you have no rings and you kind of just have to figure your way through that through massive trial and error until it works. Personally, I've never really liked that style of challenge. Which is why as a kid I beat that boss the slow way. I took like 4 minutes of fight. I'm not going to go for that. That's a shame. That's probably the biggest time saver in the stage, is to get that cycle. But I often either just miss it or talk myself out of going for it. Because obviously, if I guess wrong and I was too late there, I'd be dead. So you can understand my reluctance, especially on a run that's tracking pretty well, to take the punt. At least I got that extra cycle though. Nah, not going for it, not going for it. Again, that's another one where I had the option. I possibly could have taken it, but wasn't prepared to. Especially as I think I'd actually jumped over the checkpoint. Yes, the sandfall moves up there. What of it? You mean you don't have those where you come from? 221, that's a good cycle for Act 2 as well. Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely. I want to give Sonic Mania a few solid playthroughs. That's the main reason I have the okay, so make sure to go left. Open the door. Don't go past it. So this is what I meant. I'm going to be talking myself out of doing all sorts of different tricks here. But yeah, the main reason I have the donation drive for the PC going on is for that game. I found, because I tried to stream Sonic CD either yesterday or the day before, and I can play it just fine, but when I add the streaming software into the mix as well, it's just too much for this toaster of a PC to handle. So by the time it comes out, I'm trying to get myself a new one. Oh! I made a ring do a thing. If I got hit then, that would have been really bad. Chow edition. I'm just gonna go ahead and say no to that right now. I mean, the concept is funny. It's worth playing once. But to actually take it seriously, no. Starting to wonder if it would have been worth dropping the shield there. Because I don't want to have the shield for the boss fight. But all else fails, I can drop it in the boss. Which is what we're going to have to do. So just take a hit and then get up on the arm and go. $255. I will take that. Oh, Lion, it's far too late for that. I've already... it's possible to get clipped through the ground there, so I jump over the point where that happens. So that was 2 people who asked. So what did I do that seemed like a glitch to you guys? Because I don't remember doing anything. Oh, yeah, well, it doesn't affect how I travel. Oh, no. Actually, no, that's good. I actually want to not have a shield for this boss fight as well. Oh, I don't know why that one drops down from there sometimes. It doesn't really make any sense. I'm going to put it over here because then the signpost will drop there. 2, 3, 4, and it will give me a fire shield, which is what I want for the next stage. Wow, I lost a ton of time here. I wonder why. Oh, I did screw up in that elevator section. That's okay. That's not okay. Alright. Having no rings there is fine. Nothing's gonna kill me in that area. I want the lightning shield. What am I doing? I skipped the checkpoint. This could be potentially problematic. I'm gonna have to wait here. Alright. We're fine. Okay. So we've got 2 minutes to go. Oh wow, that's really impressive. I didn't think that that kind of recreation would be possible. I don't know if it's just like stage assets or if they've actually tried to replicate some of the things that you see, like the Studiopolis warps and stuff. Warps between areas. Oh, it's too late. You've been firmly quoted. There's somebody else I wanted to respond to. I feel like now would be a good time to try and check. In Sonic 3, after each act, you don't warp to a new area, you just continue right away. Yeah, it's one of my favorite things about this game, actually, is that it changes the structure of the act from being 2 separate acts to 2 contiguous acts. I think it's really clever, and it does actually, Oh, you're meant to have the lightning shield here, that's right. Because with the lightning shield you can hit the capsule earlier, and you don't lose any time. From a speedrunning perspective, it means that you have more to think about with the with the oh no. Oh no. It's so long since I've done that with one character. It means that you have more to think about with universal timers and things like that. So in Sonic 2, if something's going to be out of your way at 10 seconds in Emerald Hill 2, say, then it's always going to be the way. It's always going to be out of the way at 10 seconds. But in this game, it's also dependent on how well you did the first stage as well. So you're always thinking on your feet a little bit. That's why, for example, at the end of Sanopolis 1, I'm always checking my time. And if my time is in a certain range that works out well, then I'll know right away that I can just do the spin dash over the pillar, because it's going to be at its lowest point. Yeah, it's right for the second phase and left for the third. Okay. Damn it. So close. Yeah, fingers crossed for Mania, but certainly up to this point, you won't hear any argument from me. Not worth trying for it again. That's a shame, because that stage went really well up to that point. Six, 7. That's still a good time, actually. Cool kid, please. Okay, remember, you do not have hypersonic, you cannot take Tails' path here. Good. We went the right way. That jump onto the sideways facing spikes there is actually a little bit risky. But I have a good cue for when to jump, so it's fine. One out of there. That's about average. Tails path, you come out of that pit at the bottom, but it's way too high for Sonic with only a lightning shield to get out. Even Hypersonic can only just make the jump. Okay. Now, let's try and get this right. And kept the shield. Not that it did me much good there. That's still pretty good. Oh no, that's the best bit about running this game, Yui, is that you can actually get Tails killed all you want. If you play single player, it almost never makes a difference. Delay that spin dash a little bit so you can jump off the next platform. Make those platforms disappear so they reset to their original positions and you can go past them. Jump over that pit because if the laser's off, it's not off for long, but if it is off, then you fall into the pit and you pick up a water shield, and that's a terrible time loss. Oh, that was close. I was actually really scared I was gonna get hit by that bullet then. Wow, 152 in the tube. This is an amazing death egg too. Okay, now there is a thing I can do. When you go into the next screen, if you do a spin dash right near the actual loading trigger, it causes the floor in the next area to mess itself up. Oh, you're quite right, it would count as a glitch. Yeah, so I won't do it. Well, I wasn't going to do it anyway, so that's fine. But it causes the actual graphics to offset with where the ground actually is. And it means that in the second phase, where where Robotnik's chasing you with the Master Emerald, you can actually sit on the left-hand side and hold a spin dash and do the entire fight in one round. You'll see me do it in 2 rounds here. So this is a really simple fight actually if you do it in 2 rounds. 3:18, that's a very good time. Wow, okay.